Hidden deep in the Bohol Sea, Camiguin is unlike any other place on the Philippine map, a small island carrying the raw power of 7 volcanoes. This is not a place to simply view. It's a place to feel, to challenge yourself, and to pause. With a calm surface hiding intense and mysterious layers, Camiguin speaks only to those who dare to explore. The visual jolt begins with White Island, a crescent-shaped stretch of pure white sand rising in the middle of clear blue ocean, bare and untouched. It appears only during low tide, like a mirage, with the towering Mount Hibok looming in the background. Just beneath the sea's surface lies the haunting sunken cemetery, where a volcanic eruption in the year 1871 swallowed a town. Today, a single massive cross emerges from the water, and locals still gather for memorials. Few know that Camiguin has the highest volcano density in the entire Philippines, 7 volcanoes packed into less than 93 square miles. Every inch of land feels alive. The hike up Mount Hibok is not just a climb, it's a challenge. Starting from the warm waters of ardent hot spring, the 5-mile trail leads through dense rainforest and ends with sweeping views of the island and sea. But at journey's end, Tuasan Falls waits an 82-foot cascade hidden in lush jungle, pouring into a cool pool that calms the body and quiets the mind. Tucked away at the northernmost tip of the Philippines, Batanes is a place where nature and tradition blend into a peaceful, living canvas. With sweeping green hills, time-worn stone houses, and untouched coastlines, the island offers a feeling of stepping into a world where time slows down and everything is in tune with the land and its people. The awe begins with Vayang rolling hills, endless waves of soft green slopes stretching to the horizon. It's a living painting, stirring both wonder and serenity in anyone who sees it. Balugan Boulder Beach is unlike any other shoreline. Instead of sand, it's covered with thousands of smooth, round volcanic rocks formed by ancient eruptions. The rhythmic crash of waves against these stones composes a rare and soothing symphony from the earth itself. Perched atop hilltops, the old stone fortresses, called Ijang, stand as silent guardians of the island's past. Built by the Ivatan people, these strongholds are quiet proof of ingenuity and resilience carved in basalt and memory. For those drawn to challenge and solitude, the climb up Mount Iraya is a journey of the spirit. The trail winds through thick forest and finishes with sweeping views across land and sea, rewarding every step with breathless clarity. At day's end, Basco Lighthouse waits on Naidi Hill. Bathed in golden sunset light, the tower glows above the sea, casting not just beams, but a deep and lasting calm. It's a place where everything feels still and meaningful. Tucked away in the northern part of Palawan, Culion is not just an island, it is living memory, where the past and the present stand together in silence. Once a leper colony under American rule, Culion now invites those brave enough to listen and gentle enough to feel. From isolation and pain, it has grown into a journey of reflection, truth, and untouched beauty. The first vision that stuns the eyes is Ditaytayan Sandbar, a curved stretch of white sand that appears between the turquoise waters during low tide. There are no shops, no shelters, just nature in its purest form, bare and breathtaking. Yet behind that calm beauty lies history, layered deep. Inside the Kalyon Museum, hundreds of preserved items, medical tools, handwritten letters, and early photographs tell the unheard stories of resilience, of a community once cut off from the world, but never from dignity. Few realize that the island's coral stone church, still standing strong, was built over a century ago. Its wooden altar remains intact, and an old bell from Spain still rings through the town, each afternoon its chime more memory than sound. The climb up Mount Agila is no simple walk. The trail winds through dry forest and thick brush for more than 2,000 feet. At the summit, you are gifted with a view of Koh Rong Bay that feels as vast as silence itself. And then there is Okum Beach. It welcomes no fanfare, just white sand, open sky, and the sound of waves that ask nothing but still your thoughts. It is where time stretches, and you meet the quietest parts of yourself. Hidden in the eastern seas of Zamboanga City, once Islas meaning 11 islands in Chavacano, is a pristine archipelago where nature and indigenous culture blend into a rare ecological adventure. Since its opening to visitors in mid-July of the year 2018, the group of islands has remained mostly untouched, with only select isles accessible in order to protect its fragile ecosystems and local heritage. Bisaya Island delivers a visual spectacle that feels surreal. Fine white sand stretches beside crystal-clear waters, while massive, odd-shaped rock formations rise from the shore. It is a place where the earth sculpts art, and the ocean frames it with serenity. On Siroman Island, time seems to move with the tide. Hidden sandbars emerge only during low water, revealing narrow trails of beach surrounded by endless blue. These natural formations vanish within hours, making each appearance feel like a fleeting gift for the lucky few. Beyond the beaches, the islands hide a deeper layer. On Kabugan and Lampidigan, the Samabangingui people maintain a way of life shaped by generations of sea and story. Here, visitors are not just tourists, they are students of a culture rooted in wind, tide, and tradition. Baung Baung Island challenges the body and rewards the spirit. A rugged climb to the island's highest hill leads through coastal forest and finishes with a sweeping view of the surrounding sea. The trail is steep, the sun is strong, but the silence at the summit is worth every step. Then there is Baba Island. No boats line the shore, no vendors call out, just a wide stretch of soft sand and the steady breath of the ocean. It is the kind of beach that doesn't ask for anything, only that you slow down and listen. Kalangaman lies in the central part of the Philippines. It is part of the Eastern Visayas region. This narrow island is known for its two long sandbars that stretch out into the sea, forming delicate arcs like wings in flight, with no electricity, no residents, and no hotels. Kalangaman does not offer comfort, it offers space. Space to stop, to be silent, and to feel the freedom that only untouched nature can give. The island's white sandbar extends more than 1,640 feet into the open sea. It shifts and changes with the tide, drawing a new shape each hour. At times, it looks like a thread laid across the ocean, impossibly thin and stunningly bright. At night, if you camp on the island, you might be lucky enough to see sea turtles crawling ashore to lay their eggs. The moment is quiet, primal, and precious. Just moonlight, soft sand, and the sound of waves welcoming new life. The name Kalangaman comes from the local word for bird, because from above, the island resembles a bird with wings spread wide over the water. It is a detail that many miss at first glance, but once seen, it becomes unforgettable. There is no power here, no comfort waiting. Everything, your water, your food, your shelter, must be brought by you. Kalangaman does not provide. It invites you to rely on yourself and strip everything down to what really matters. And when you stand at the tip of the sandbar, with no one around, surrounded by sea and sky, you do not feel lonely. You feel completely, deeply, and beautifully alone. Malapascua lies in the central Philippines. It is part of the Central Visayas region, located just off the northern tip of Cebu. This small island is accessible only by boat and offers an entirely different rhythm of life, quiet, detached, and close to the sea. It is not a destination for noise or speed, but a retreat for those who want to dive deep, not just into water, but into themselves. At Monad Shoal, just before sunrise, thresher sharks emerge from the deep. These majestic creatures, with tails stretching more than 10 feet long, glide silently near the edge of the reef. Malapascua is the only place in the world where this can be seen with such regularity. It is a visual shock, unexpected, elegant, unforgettable. This moment only happens in the very early morning, as night gives way to faint light. The sharks rise briefly, circle, then vanish back into the blue. Those who sleep in miss it, those who wake early witness something sacred. Few know that these sharks use their long tails to hunt. With a swift lash, they stun small fish before swallowing them. It is a hunting method both rare and precise, and it can only be seen if you're watching carefully beneath the surface. On land, the entire island can be walked in less than 2 hours. There are no cars, no paved roads, just footpaths, palm trees, and quiet villages. It is a place to move slowly, to breathe deeply, and to notice what usually goes unnoticed. And when you reach Langob Beach at the northern edge, everything becomes still. The breeze is soft, the water clear, the sand warm underfoot. You sit alone, yet completely held. In that stillness, time seems to disappear. Siquijor lies in the central Philippines. It is part of the Central Visayas region, nestled between the islands of Cebu, Bohol, and Negros Oriental. This small island is known for its unspoiled beauty, white sand beaches, crystal clear waters, and a quiet that invites both wonder and reflection. Beyond its landscapes, Siquijor carries a mystique, stories of healing rituals and age-old herbal practices. It is the kind of place where nature and tradition whisper side by side. Cambagahay Falls stuns with its 3-tiered cascade of turquoise water. Each level offers rope swings and bamboo rafts, inviting you to plunge into a scene that feels pulled straight from a fairy tale. It is wild, vivid, and unmistakably alive. Near the roadside stands a massive balat tree, said to be more than 4 centuries old. From its roots flows a natural spring where tiny fish gather around your feet. Sit down, dip in, and you find yourself part of something ancient and still like a ritual passed through generations. The name Isla del Fuego, or Island of Fire, comes from the glow of fireflies that light up the trees at night. Their flickering light dances through the branches like floating stars, turning the island into a living constellation. You can explore the whole island by motorbike in just a few hours. Winding roads lead you past waterfalls, fishing villages, and forested hills. It is freedom on 2 wheels, wrapped in the scent of salt and soil. Palatin Beach is where stillness comes into full view. White sand, leaning coconut trees, and a sunset that spreads gold across the sea to sit, breathe, and let the island remind you how peaceful the world can be. Koh Rong lies in the western Philippines. It is part of the province of Palawan, within the Calamian Islands, surrounded by the Sulu Sea. This place is not just an island, it is a canvas painted by cliffs, lakes, and shipwrecks. It holds stories from centuries past and beauty that feels untouched. Koh Rong is not for passing glances, it is for diving into, climbing up, and standing still with awe. Kayangan Lake, often called the cleanest lake in Asia, rests in a basin of towering limestone cliffs. The water is a deep shade of emerald and clear enough to see the stones on the bottom. Stepping into this lake feels like stepping into a world that forgot time existed. At Twin Lagoon, fresh and salt water meet. You swim through a narrow passage and feel the sudden shift warm, then cold, then warm again. It is a surreal moment, as if the ocean is whispering secrets just for you to feel. Beneath Koh Rong's waters lie more than 10 Japanese warships, sunk during World War II. Some are just 20 feet below, others more than 100 feet deep. They remain nearly intact, massive and still silent monuments to a violent past now softened by coral and peace. Mount Tapias rises above the town. To reach the summit, you climb more than 720 steps. The air is heavy, your legs burn, but the view of the bay and hills is a reward no photograph could capture. Then there is Siete Pecados. 7 small islands surrounding a living reef, where tropical fish flash between soft coral. You descend into silence, and for a while, there are no questions, just color, movement, and calm. Balabac lies in the western Philippines. It is part of the province of Palawan, positioned at the southernmost edge of the archipelago, where land gives way to open sea. Known as the last frontier, Balabac is not just a destination, it is a threshold. Reaching it means giving up comfort for something far rarer purity. This is not a place you arrive at easily. It is a place you earn. The first image that takes your breath away is Onok Island. Its sand is as fine as powder and white as light, stretching between turquoise waters so clear you can see the coral beds below. There are no buildings, no boats, no sound, just you and a horizon drawn in blues. Then there is Mansalangan Sandbar. It appears only when the tide pulls back, revealing a slender path of sand floating on glassy water. Walking here feels impossible and real all at once, like stepping into a dream with your feet still wet. Perched on a lonely hill, the Cape Melville Lighthouse stands in silence. Built in the late 19th century, it has watched centuries of sea pass below. There are no signs pointing to it. No road leading the way. Only those who are curious enough find this piece of quiet history. To get to Balabac, you must ride a van, then a boat, and sometimes walk. It is a layered journey, long, slow, and raw. Each leg strips something away until what remains is you, fully present when your feet finally hit the sand. And then you reach Punta Sebering. The beach stretches for miles, the sand soft beneath your hands, the waves barely whispering. There are no sellers, no schedules, no distractions. Just a moment, and if you're still enough, a sense of peace so real it feels sacred. Raja Ampat lies in eastern Indonesia. It is part of southwest Papua province, located at the northwestern tip of New Guinea. This is where the map ends and the journey begins, with thousands of scattered islands across endless blue sea. Raja Ampat remains wild, untouched, and deeply alive, a sanctuary where nature still holds the final word. At Cape Cree, a single dive reveals more than 370 species of fish. This world record of marine biodiversity stuns the senses. It is not just diving. It is immersion into a universe blooming beneath the surface, bursting with life and color. On Misul Island, there is a place called Medusa Lake, where stingless jellyfish drift gently through crystal-clear waters. Swimming among them feels like entering a silent dream. They float around you like living lights, soft and alien, harmless and haunting. Then comes Wayag, a land of limestone towers that rise like stone mushrooms out of the turquoise sea. Few know this place exists, seen from above. The spires and inlets look like another planet, raw, jagged, and magical in a way words cannot capture. But reaching Raja Ampat requires resolve. You must fly to Sorong, take a ferry to Waisai, then continue by small boat. It is not a straight path, it is a test. Those who arrive have earned not just a place, but an experience. And at the end of all that, there is Arborek Village, a small island of wooden homes, quiet paths, and ocean wind. There is no signal here, no cars, no rush, just presence. And when you sit by the shore, you realize somewhere the world still remembers how to be quiet. Nusa Penida lies in central Indonesia. It is part of Bali province, about 15 miles southeast of the mainland. This island feels like another world, rugged, raw, and overwhelmingly beautiful. Here, nature is not staged for comfort. It asks you to step in fully, to climb, to sweat, to be still. Nusa Penida is not a detour. It is a challenge to awaken. At Kelingking Beach, a massive limestone cliff curves into the ocean in the shape of a T-Rex. From the viewpoint above, the sight is so striking it feels unreal, a visual shock that stays etched in your memory. You do not just see it, you feel the pull of scale and silence. Broken Beach is a hidden bay encircled by stone cliffs, where a natural arch connects the ocean to the pool inside. When sunlight pours through the arch at the right angle, The light refracts off the water, turning the scene into something dreamlike and rare. Goa Giri Putri is a temple tucked inside a mountain cave. You enter through a crack barely wide enough for one body. Inside, the space opens into a vast chamber of incense smoke and flickering altars. It is dim, reverent, and utterly quiet, a sacred stillness carved in stone. Descending to Keling King Beach takes close to 1 hour down a steep trail lined only with bamboo railings. The path tests both courage and legs, but the reward, a stretch of white sand at the base of sheer cliffs, is pure and private, worth every trembling step. And then, Crystal Bay, clear water, soft sand, and the slow sweep of the sun, slipping behind the ocean. You sit, barefoot and quiet, letting the evening air settle around you. Here, peace is not a place. It is a presence that holds you, gently, completely. Krai Island lies in eastern Indonesia. It is part of West Papua Province, located within the Raja Ampat archipelago. Known for its stunning coral reefs and unspoiled beaches, the island is a top destination for divers and nature lovers. Krai is not about modern comfort, it is about immersion, silence, and beauty that unfolds slowly, one reef at a time. At Cape Krai, a single dive once recorded more than 370 species of fish. This staggering diversity delivers a visual explosion, colors, patterns, and movement swirling in every direction. It is not a dive, it is a descent into life itself. Just beyond the shallows, rare creatures make unexpected appearances. Moonfish and hammerhead sharks are sometimes seen gliding through the reefs. Each encounter is fleeting and unforgettable. One moment you're swimming, the next you're witnessing something few ever do. No one lives permanently on Krai Island. Instead, a handful of small homestays and eco-lodges welcome visitors. The lack of crowds or cities lets nature speak clearly through the waves, the wind, and the hush of morning light. Getting to Krai takes determination. You must fly to Sorong, ride a ferry to Waisai, then continue by small boat. The journey is not easy, but with every transfer, you leave behind the noise of the world and move closer to something wild and real. And finally, the beaches. Uncrowded and untouched. The sand is soft beneath your feet, and the water is so clear, it feels invisible. Here, stillness isn't just a pause, it's a state of being. Time slows, breath deepens, and you begin to listen. Bawah Reserve lies in northern Indonesia. It is part of the Anambas Islands. Located about 150 nautical miles northeast of Singapore, this luxury eco-resort spans 6 private islands, 13 white sand beaches, and 3 crystal-clear lagoons. It is not just a getaway, it is a sanctuary for those seeking stillness and a deeper bond with nature. The reserve is home to more than 600 species of coral and countless tropical fish. These untouched reefs are preserved in their natural state, delivering a visual spectacle that overwhelms the senses. Diving here is not just an activity, it is immersion into a living reef, vivid and wild. At certain times of the year, blacktip reef sharks glide near the shore. To witness these elegant creatures in their natural habitat is rare and unforgettable, a moment that feels both ancient and intimate. Built with a commitment to sustainability, Bawa Reserve uses local materials and renewable energy. There is no cell signal, no internet, only silence and space. It is a place designed to reconnect with nature by letting go of everything else. To reach Bawa, guests fly to Batam Island and then board a seaplane for a 75-minute journey. The trip itself is part of the transformation, peeling away noise and speed as you move towards something more elemental. And when you arrive, white sand underfoot, lagoon water still and blue, the world narrows. There is no rush, no pressure, just breath, sky, and the kind of peace that needs no explanation. Labuan Bajo lies in eastern Indonesia. It is part of East Nusa Tenggara province, on the western edge of Flores Island. Once a quiet fishing village, it has become the gateway to Komodo National Park, the wild, wind-carved home of the legendary Komodo dragon. It is where journeys begin in excitement and end in awe and silence. At Padar Island, after a steep climb to the summit, you witness 3 crescent-shaped bays, each with a different color of sand white, pink, and black. The view is a visual shock, like a surreal painting placed in the middle of the ocean. At sunset on Kalong Island, thousands of giant bats rise from the mangrove forest and sweep across the sky. Their formation moves like a living cloud, creating one of the rarest and most magical natural spectacles. Batu Cermin, a hidden limestone cave, reveals a secret when sunlight slips through narrow cracks and strikes the crystal walls. The reflection glitters like mirrors, an effect few people ever discover without stepping into the darkness. Reaching Labuan Bajo is a journey in itself. You fly to Bali or Jakarta, then take another flight to Komodo Airport. From there, you board a boat to explore the surrounding islands. It is a layered path that asks for patience and rewards those who follow it with wonder. On beaches like Pink Beach, with its rose-colored sand and clear waters, you find stillness. You sit, you breathe, you listen to the rhythm of the waves. In that quiet, the world softens, and something within settles too. Nusa Lembongan lies in southeastern Indonesia. It is part of Bali province, situated just off the southeast coast of Bali Island. This small island offers a tranquil escape from the bustling mainland, featuring pristine beaches, clear turquoise waters, and a laid-back atmosphere. Nusa Lembongan is a haven for those seeking relaxation and natural beauty. At Devil's Tier, waves crash against rugged limestone cliffs, sending plumes of sea spray into the air. This dramatic display of nature's power creates a visual spectacle that captivates visitors and offers a unique photo opportunity. During certain times of the year, manta rays can be spotted gliding gracefully through the waters around the island. Snorkeling or diving alongside these majestic creatures provides an unforgettable experience and a rare glimpse into marine life. The island is connected to neighboring Nusa Ceningan by a narrow suspension bridge known as the Yellow Bridge. This pedestrian-only crossing offers stunning views of the surrounding waters and mangrove forests, making it a hidden gem for explorers. Reaching Nusa Lembongan involves a journey from Bali's mainland. Travelers typically take a speedboat from Sanur Beach, which takes about 30 minutes. This short trip transports visitors to a serene environment, far removed from the hustle and bustle. On the island's beaches, such as Junggut Batu and Dream Beach, visitors can unwind and soak in the peaceful surroundings. The gentle lapping of waves and the soft, white sand create an atmosphere of emotional stillness, perfect for reflection and relaxation. Sumba lies in eastern Indonesia. It is part of East Nusa Tenggara province, set between the Savu Sea and the Indian Ocean. Unlike its volcanic neighbors, Sumba is a land of limestone hills, dry grasslands, and traditions that have survived unchanged for centuries. This island does not try to impress. It simply exists, raw and unbothered, calling only those ready to meet something sacred in its simplest form. At Imbawana Beach, a massive stone arch towers above the white sand, framing the turquoise sea like a doorway to another world. The silence, the scale, it strikes you not just visually, but somewhere deeper. You do not look at it, you stand before it. During the Pasola festival, warriors on horseback hurl wooden spears at each other in a ritual tied to harvest and heritage. There are no barriers, no announcers, just dust, motion, and a force older than memory. To see it is to witness a piece of the human story rarely told. In villages like Ratinggaro, tall thatched roofs rise above megalithic tombs. The dead do not rest beneath, they remain among the living. These villages are not museums. They are breathing places where past and present walk side by side. Getting to Sumba means flying into Waingapu or Tambalaka, then driving for hours across rocky roads. The journey demands patience, but that is the point. Every mile takes you closer, not just to a place, but to something true. And then you find Wallakiri Beach. Mangrove trees twist above shallow waters as the sun dips low. Their shadows stretch across the tide like brushstrokes on glass. In that moment, the world slows and your breath matches it. Nothing else is needed. Mentawai lies in western Indonesia. It is part of West Sumatra province and includes islands such as Siberut, Sipora, and the Pagai Islands, isolated from the mainland. Mentawai is not just a place, it is the edge of the known world, where rainforest, ancient culture, and ocean collide. This is where modern noise ends and raw presence begins. At hollow trees, also called HTs, waves roll in heavy and hollow over shallow reef. The break forms a perfect tube, a visual spectacle that lures surfers from around the world. To ride here is to meet power head-on, with nothing in between. During special times of the year, the Mentawai people perform sacred ceremonies in the forest. There is chanting, drumming, dancing, all done not for display, but for the spirits. It is not a show. It is a glimpse into something deep and enduring. On Siberut Island, the Mentawai tribe lives in long wooden houses called Uma. These homes hold generations under one roof. With no electricity or plumbing, life here moves to the rhythm of the river, the wind, and the wisdom of plants, passed from elder to child. Getting to Mentawai requires flying to Padang, then taking a ferry, and sometimes a small boat. It is a slow arrival, but with every step away from convenience, you draw closer to truth. And when you finally reach the beach's quiet, Untouched, framed by palm and sky, you sit down, not just to rest, but to remember. The silence here does not ask for anything. It simply offers you back to yourself. Lombok lies in central Indonesia. It is part of West Nusa Tenggara province, located just east of Bali Island and separated by the Lombok Strait. Unlike its famous neighbor, Lombok preserves its wild edges, quiet beaches, dramatic volcanoes, and a culture rooted in the Sasak people. It is a destination for those who crave stillness, challenge, and cultural depth. Mount Rinjani rises more than 12,200 feet above sea level, making it the second tallest active volcano in Indonesia. At its summit rests Segara Anak, a crater lake over 6,500 feet high. The sheer scale and serenity of the landscape deliver a visual shock that stays long after you leave in February or March. Lombok hosts the Bau Nyala Festival, where locals gather to catch sea worms called Nyale, believed to be the reincarnation of Princess Mandalika. The event is a living tradition, blending mythology, nature, and communal spirit in a celebration like no other. Lombok sits along the Wallace Line, a biological boundary dividing Asian and Australasian species. This invisible border creates a unique ecosystem where birds, plants, and animals coexist in unexpected combinations, revealing a hidden natural heritage. Climbing Mount Rinjani is not a short hike. It is a multi-day trek, demanding strength and resolve. But reaching the summit gives more than a view, it gives clarity, a rush of triumph, and a reminder of what persistence makes possible. Selong Belanak Beach is where the journey slows. With fine white sand and clear turquoise water, it offers nothing but peace. Here, far from any rush, you sit quietly, letting the horizon speak its slow, soft truth. Koh Rong lies in eastern Thailand. It is part of Trat province, set in the Gulf of Thailand near the Cambodian border. As the fourth largest island in the country, Koh Rong remains largely untouched. Dense jungles, clear waterfalls, and white sand beaches define its landscape. There are no malls, no neon lights, only nature, and a pace that invites you to slow down. It is a place for those who long for stillness and the essence of an unfiltered Thailand. Tapao Beach greets you with powdery white sand, crystal clear water, and gently arching palm trees. When the sun sets, it paints the sea in golden hues. It is a visual moment so vivid, it feels like stepping into a painting. Near Koh Rong, the marine sanctuary of Koh Rong offers a rare underwater experience. While snorkeling or diving, you may spot sea turtles or black-tip reef sharks gliding through the water, an unseen moment few ever forget. Ao Yai fishing village stands on wooden stilts above the tide. Here, you can enjoy fresh-caught seafood and watch the daily rhythm of traditional island life. A walk along the wooden paths reveals a world that moves slowly, steadily, and peacefully. Getting to Koh Rong involves a long journey by car and ferry from Bangkok. The trip can take more than 6 hours, making it a destination for those who choose quiet over convenience. This very remoteness has helped preserve the island's raw beauty. Klong Chau waterfall hides deep within the forest. Cool water tumbles into a shaded pool where birds call and sunlight filters through the leaves. In this quiet, you do not just hear nature, you feel it, and in that feeling, you find yourself again. Tucked away in the Andaman Sea, Koh Rong belongs to Phang Nga Province, Thailand, and feels like a place the modern world has overlooked. No high-rises, no paved roads, only the raw rhythm of nature stretching across an untouched island between sea and forest. An open savanna sprawls in defiance of the tropics, looking more like East Africa than Southeast Asia. If you've ever wanted to disappear from everything while stepping into something strangely profound, this is where the path begins. But it's only once you set foot here that the story truly unfolds. Koh Rong stuns at first sight, with over 15 miles of deserted white sand beaches, no crowds, no footprints, just ocean and sky in every direction. The effect is surreal, as if you've entered a landscape no longer tethered to time. In January and February, the island's western shore becomes the nesting ground for sea turtles. Drawn by the absence of people and artificial light, catching sight of this moment in utter silence is a rare privilege offered by nature alone. At the heart of the island lies a vast savanna. Its grasslands shift color with the season, cycling from lush green to golden yellow, creating a dreamlike palette across the inland expanse, unseen, unexpected, and entirely real. Slip into a kayak and drift through the mangrove channels. No engines, no noise, just you, the water, and the soft sounds of herons rising from the trees. It is a slow, quiet adventure powered by presence. With a population under 300, the island breathes solitude. There are no engines humming, no neon signs glowing, only the deep, grounding rhythm of wind and wave. Koh Tao, a small island set deep in the Gulf of Thailand and part of Surat Thani province, is not made for sightseeing, it's meant for surrender. Stretching only about 8 square miles. Every step on this island reveals a glimpse of the extraordinary. Koh Tao doesn't shout to impress, its stillness and the way sunlight turns the sea into liquid glass does more than words ever could. This is not a place you visit, it's where you slow down, and beneath the surface, something waits. Koh Tao's beaches are lined with powder white sand, and the water clarity is so pure you can see the bottom even past 30 feet. The light cuts straight through the surface, making the ocean feel endless and close at once. Each spring, for just a few days, sea turtles crawl ashore on the island's eastern beaches to lay their eggs. It's a delicate, fleeting moment, made more precious by its silence and rarity. Beneath the waves lies a complex world of marine life. More than 130 species of hard coral and over 220 species of reef fish create a living reef that very few truly know exists. The HTMS Satakut, a 200-foot-long naval vessel sunk off the coast, has become a magnet for deep divers. Exploring it alone, surrounded by the ocean's hush, offers a test of courage and curiosity. With a local population of just under 1,400, Koh Tao moves at a different rhythm. There are no crowds, only sea breezes, warm sun, and a chance to truly reconnect with yourself. Out in the wide Andaman Sea, Koh Mook a small island off the coast of Trang Province, feels more like a secret than a destination. It doesn't cater to the casual traveler, it waits for the curious, the quiet, the bold. Here, the path forward often means swimming through shadow, entering places where sunlight only follows courage. Koh Rong isn't loud. It's a whisper, a slow pulse, a hidden world meant to be discovered on your own terms. Sivalai Beach shocks the senses with a stretch of white sand that pushes into the sea like a slender peninsula. From above, it looks like the island is reaching into the water, an arm of light surrounded by deep blue. The island's most surreal moment is found at Emerald Cave. The only way in is to swim through a pitch-black tunnel over 260 feet long. At the end, you don't find a cave, you find a hidden beach enclosed by cliffs and trees, invisible from the outside world. Life on Koh Rong runs without cash machines or around-the-clock electricity. When the sun sets, the island dims into a calm that modern places forgot. That silence is not an absence, it's a presence. By kayak, you can wind through mangrove channels and narrow waterways, letting the island reveal itself one slow paddle at a time. There are no signs, just water, roots, and the sound of your own breath. With a population of just under 1,400, mostly fishermen, Koh Rong moves with the tide, and if you let it, so will you. Koh Rong is a peaceful island located in Phang Nga Bay, in southern Thailand. There are no high-rises, no cities, just village paths, mangrove forests, and a way of life that moves at a slower pace. Every road leads not just to a view, but into the daily rhythm of a place that refuses to rush. This island is not for those in a hurry, but for those searching for stillness within nature. Once you arrive, that stillness begins to shape your own steps. From the highest point on the island, you can see all of Phang Nga Bay spread before you, limestone towers rising straight from jade green water, so stunning they feel like a dream drawn in stone. The view resets your sense of scale. Each morning, as the tide pulls away, the eastern beaches reveal wide fields of sand. You can walk hundreds of feet into the bay and still feel the seafloor breathing beneath your steps. It's a moment few expect and fewer forget. Despite the modern world pressing in, Koh Rong holds onto its roots. Locals fish the waters and plant the paddies, living by sun and tide, not by clock or trend. A single bicycle is all you need to explore. Ride past rice fields, coastal villages, and whispering palm groves, free to follow your own rhythm. With a population of around 4,000, the island breathes gently. Life here isn't fast or loud, it's real, and it waits for you. Koh Rong is a tiny island in southern Thailand, just near the Malaysian border, nestled in the Andaman Sea. It glows like a pearl in the blue, where turquoise waters touch powder-white sand. There are no cars here, no honking horns, only waves, wind, and the soft press of your feet on the shoreline. You don't come here to see things, you come here to feel. And sometimes it's the quiet that speaks the loudest. From the island's highest point, the Andaman Sea unfolds in every direction. Towering limestone formations rise from the water like pillars of another world, casting shadows over the glassy surface below. It's a view that stuns your sense of place. At dawn, the eastern beaches reveal long sandbars as the tide slips away. You can walk hundreds of feet into the sea, your steps tracing a path through shallow waters, where marine life shimmers just beneath the surface. Though tourism has reached its shores, Koh Lipe still clings to tradition. Local families fish, cook outdoors, and gather in small communities that have changed little over the decades. Their rhythm moves with the sea, not the schedule. You can cross the island by foot or bicycle. The paths weave through fishing villages, mangrove forests, and quiet trails along the coast, a simple, independent journey in every direction. With a population of about 1,200, the island stays slow, warm, and grounded. Here, peace isn't something you find. It's something you return to. Koh Phayan is a small island off the coast of Ranong province in southwestern Thailand. Near the border with Myanmar, there are no cars, no ATMs, no supermarkets, only dirt paths, coconut groves, and quiet, wild beaches. You don't come here to spend money, you come here to spend time, and to let that time shape you. Koh Phayan is not a place you discover, it's a place where you let yourself be discovered. From a western hillside, the view stretches wide. A long curve of white sand meets the sea, framed by thick green forest. And for a moment, the world feels untouched and perfectly quiet. At sunrise, the eastern shoreline reveals long sandbars as the tide slips away. You can walk hundreds of feet into the sea, each step surrounded by still water and silence, as if the ocean itself is breathing with you. Even with its quiet stream of visitors, Koh Phayan has held on to the old ways. People fish, plant cashew and rubber trees, and live simply, guided by seasons, not schedules. The whole island can be explored on foot or by bicycle. Paths wind through fishing villages, along mangrove forests, and beside the coast, you don't need a plan, just movement and attention. With a population of about 500, life here hums at the speed of the tide. It doesn't demand. It waits. And when you slow down enough, you'll hear something more than waves. You'll hear yourself. Koh Kraden is a small island off the coast of Trang province in southern Thailand. No cars, no convenience stores, no tourist noise, just soft sand, quiet trees, and the rhythm of the Andaman Sea. It's not a place full of attractions, it's a place full of space. Koh Kraden isn't for groups or crowds, it's for you when you're ready to be still. Along Paradise Beach, a stretch of white sand runs for about 1 mile. The turquoise sea glows beside a wall of tropical forest, creating a visual that feels almost unreal. At sunrise, when the tide rolls out, long sandbars appear. You can walk hundreds of feet into the shallow sea, surrounded by silence and the shimmer of marine life just beneath the waterline. Despite its rising name, Koh Kraden stays raw. No ATMs, no convenience stores. Electricity hums from solar panels and small generators, and that's enough. With a length of roughly 1.5 miles, the island can be crossed on foot. Trails through the jungle lead to beaches with no names, no signs, and no sound but the wind and the sea. There are only a handful of small bungalows scattered along the coast. No engines, no loud music, just the hush of nature, the pull of the waves, and the space to hear your own thoughts. Koh Rong doesn't offer entertainment, it offers stillness. And sometimes, that's everything. Koh Rong is a large island tucked in Phang Nga Bay in southern Thailand, between Phuket and Krabi. This isn't a tourist hub. It's a place that breathes at its own pace. Every dirt road and empty shore invites you not to rush, but to arrive quietly. Koh Rong doesn't ask for your energy, it asks for your presence. And in that stillness, the ordinary becomes deeply meaningful. From the island's northern tip, Laem Pad Beach stretches out into the sea like a white sand arrow, cutting into still turquoise waters with rows of palm trees lining the shore. The image is so sharp and clean, it almost doesn't feel real. When the tide falls, a natural path of sand appears, linking Koh Rong to its sister island, Koh Rong Noi. You can walk across the shallow sea, your feet sinking softly into the sand as you step from one island to the next. It's a moment that feels borrowed from another world. Life here moves to older rhythms. People fish by hand, grow rice in wide paddies, and tap rubber trees for their slow harvest. You can roam the island on a bike or scooter, riding through coconut groves, rice fields, and quiet roads that lead to beaches with no names. Most of the island is home to Muslim families. As the day ends, the soft call to prayer drifts across the trees, reminding you that peace is not just a place. It's a way of being. Koh Mak is a small island in Trat Province, eastern Thailand, set between Koh Chang and Koh Kood in the Gulf of Thailand. There are no airports, no highways. No rush. Koh Mak feels like a quiet space left behind by time. Everything here invites slowness, the sway of coconut palms, the sound of your own footsteps on dirt roads. There is nothing loud to look for. You just stop, and the island begins to speak. At Ao Swan Yai Beach, the sand stretches for about 1 mile in a clean, soft line. The water is glass clear and turquoise, framed by tall palms that lean slightly toward the sea. It's the kind of view that doesn't ask for a filter, it asks for stillness. When the tide drops, a natural sandbar appears, linking Koh Mak to nearby Koh Kam. You can walk between the two islands, water around your ankles, in silence so complete it becomes part of the experience. Most of the island is covered in coconut and rubber plantations, owned by the founding families who have lived here for generations. Their work shapes the rhythm of the land, not the other way around. The island's flat paths make it perfect for slow travel. A bicycle or bare feet is all you need to wander into quiet corners. There are no high-rise resorts, no busy nightlife. What Koh Mak offers is simple wind, waves, and a reason to breathe. That's all, and that's enough. The Perhentian Islands lie off the northeastern coast of Peninsular Malaysia. In the state of Terengganu, there are no paved roads, no tall buildings, just soft sand, thick jungle, and sea as clear as glass. This is not a place that rushes to greet you. It waits, quietly, for those ready to slow down and see what stillness can reveal. The beaches here stun the eye's powdery white sand, turquoise water, and a wall of green jungle rising just beyond. In the shallows, with a snorkel mask and a quiet heart, you might glimpse a sea turtle drifting by, or a reef shark sliding past coral in silence. Though known by name, the islands remain grounded in tradition. Small fishing villages line the shore. There are no supermarkets, no shopping streets, only woodboats and daily tides. For those who wander alone, jungle trails cross the island. They lead to beaches with no names, where the sand remembers only your footprints. At night, there's no loud music, no glow from towers, just you, the surf, and the rhythm of a place that never needed to change. The Perhentian Islands don't try to impress. They offer something deeper, a quiet so full, you can hear yourself again. Redang Island rests off the coast of Terengganu in eastern Peninsula Malaysia. There are no paved roads, no tall hotels, only white sand, deep jungle, and water clear enough to erase the line between sea and sky. This island doesn't call out. It waits, quiet and still. For those who want to return to something raw and real, Pasir Panjang Beach stretches wide and soft, its white sand meeting turquoise water, all hugged by a wall of tropical green. It stops you not because it tries, but because it doesn't. Just beneath the surface, you might spot a sea turtle drifting past or a reef shark sliding by the coral. Each sight as calm as the water around it. The island still belongs to its roots. There are no supermarkets, no malls, just old fishing villages and long wooden boats pulled up on shore. For those who walk, forest trails weave between trees and end in beaches without names. The way is quiet, the views untouched. There's no music but the ocean, no lights but the stars. Redang doesn't entertain it, restores. And when the day ends and your feet rest in the sand, all you hear is wind and water. And maybe, finally, yourself. Langkawi is an island group off the northwestern coast of Peninsula Malaysia, in the state of Kedah. It's not just one island, but a chain of 99, rising from the Andaman Sea like memory made physical. This isn't a place to rush through. It's a place shaped over 500 million years, asking only that you stop long enough to feel it, high above the forest. The Langkawi Sky Bridge floats nearly 2,000 feet above sea level, curving over the treetops like a ribbon of light. From here, the sea stretches to the horizon, dotted with islands like scattered stones across water. In the mangrove heart of Kilim Geoforest Park, Brahmani kites soar low over the trees while monitor lizards rest silent on sunlit limestone. Just beyond, the rock at Mashinchang holds secrets older than most mountains on Earth fossils, layers, time itself folded into stone. You can walk the island's trails through rice fields, up jungle slopes, and under ancient canopy alone, in quiet, with each step uncovering something forgotten. And then, at day's end, there's Tanjung Ru. The waves roll soft. The palms move slowly. The silence here is not empty, it's full. And for once, there's nothing you need to do but listen. Langkawi holds still, so you can. Nicoy Island is a private retreat off the eastern coast of Bintan in Indonesia's Riau province, just over 30 miles from Singapore. The island feels a world away, untouched, unhurried, and deeply honest. There are no paved roads, No artificial lights, only soft sand, granite boulders, and dense tropical forest. Nicoy isn't for the flashy, it's for the still, the aware, the ones ready to listen to the quiet again. The villas here are built with reclaimed driftwood and thatched palm roofs. They don't stand above nature, they breathe with it. By nightfall, you might step quietly across the beach and witness a sea turtle digging into the sand to lay her eggs, a fragile, ancient moment not often given. Electricity flows from the sun. Power runs 22 hours each day, drawn from solar panels hidden in the trees. The design isn't about luxury, it's about respect. Every part of the island speaks this language. There are no locks, no signs, just trails and wind and paths meant to be wandered without a map. And all around, a silence that goes deep. You hear only the waves brushing the shore, the calls of birds drifting from the canopy. On Nicoy, peace isn't promised, it's present. You feel it in your chest. And suddenly, the island doesn't feel far away at all. It feels like where you were always meant to be.